People will plant it on your lantana and it chokes it out so it doesn't get enough sun. It gives you a fruit, but the main way to eat the choco is the tips. Like in the Philippines, every choco plant is owned because of the tips. They're delicious. You can eat them raw or lightly steamed. Really beautiful. So I'm constantly knocking it back so that it'll keep shooting out. But it also has a tuber that you can eat, like a potato, so it's like a starchy tuber, and you can eat it, and it's gone wild. It's a feral plant. I don't know about around here, but down New South Wales, it's a declared weed, because it curtains the native plants. Well, when I come across that, I pull them all down, eat those greens, and keep walking. You're never going to kill it, because you'll never get all the bits of roots out. If you leave one tiny little bit of root in there, it's going to go again. Oh, and I weave basket from the stems. So it's a multiple use plant. Use it to knock back the lantana and things like that. Don't put it in your fruit trees unless you're really controlling it. You know, you're using it to weave a basket, you're eating the greens. If you just plant it and leave it alone, it's going to choke it out. That's the reason they call it choco.
And you're not going to be able to access the fruit, ultimately. It really works on having trellises of not a mesh on top of the trellis, but just single wires so that it can actually hang down, because if you put any mesh on top, the mass of leaves actually doesn't let any fruit to hang down, so it actually sits on top and you don't have access to it. So,
a bit like passion fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually eat the fruit when they're really small, just raw, and they're really delicious from that size down. The tendrils are absolutely awesome. And then I've taken on, in war times they say that they use them for pear replacement, so they actually look like a pear when you scoop it out. And my auntie did a choco pie with one apple and about 6 or 7 chocos, and you wouldn't tell that it wasn't an apple pie.
Yeah.
And they pickle them too.
Yeah, pickle them, and I've taken that on with my ferments and fermented them, and it's a fantastic product because you can actually put like garlic and star anise and things that have got strong flavour in that ferment, and it'll take on the flavours. So when you stir fry with it, it takes on the flavours, and that so it stays crunchy. It's got a nice texture, and it takes on any flavour that you put near it. So it's an awesome product. And then some people have had a bad taste from. My mum always gave me chocos when I was a kid, and it was old and tough and that, and I say
they use the mature ones.
Too old. I say get them when they're small and just 3/4 done, and they're completely different. You eat them when the skin on, which has taken all your minerals in, and it's a completely different product to let them go old and hard and having to peel them and do all that. There's certain nutrition out of that because the seed actually develops into a nice nutty flavour when they are older too, but I personally like them when they're younger.
Yeah, and they're prolific. You end up with so much fruit coming off of it. And we roast them in our rocket oven. They're delicious.
And the seed's delicious like that.
But that's kind of in the wrong place. We've kind of, it's already got up into this tree. So ideally don't plant it in the spot that it is, but we were planning on training it along the fence line so we can just walk along, pick our passion fruit and our cocoa at the same time. The South American spinach as a garden edging on the inside there, and so as it grows I just pull a bit off and propagate it, so you can see it's kind of pulling up the edge there. Got comfrey under the fig tree over there, and that's the one I chop and drop and chuck around all of the solanaceae here.
Sorry, can you just break off a piece of the spinach and show them how to plant it?
Yep. So you don't even really need tools to do this because it's pretty soft. It must have good silica in it because it's quite thick. So I would maybe even smaller amount than that. Take off all of the big leaves and eat it. So you've got the smaller leaves there, and literally put it in some moist soil, dig it in, and that'll grow. It's pretty hard.
You can also drop it in a glass of water and just and then I'll throw like little fine roots.
Yep. Yep. Same as this one here. This is one of my most favourite plants. It's the leaf ginseng, water leaf. You can eat the flowers, the little, these tiny little buds that turn into the flowers kind of have a nutty taste and they're edible. The leaf is edible, and it really, there's a bee, the bees love it. You really get a nice zing from it. It's the one that we put with our banana, green banana smoothies. Isabel Shepherd says that it's as medicinal as Korean ginseng, but it's what you're having up above, it's not the root system. Again, really easy to propagate. Try and find one. It's all kind of flowering, so take off the leaves again. You don't even need to have the leaves on top, so put it in half. Again, put it in water to get the root system to develop, or you can just put it in the ground if it's moist enough, and it'll grow from there, which is, I started with one here, and I just come out every few days and expand it that way.
Can you pass it around? That's not easy.
Yeah, here, I'll pass it around, both of them. So that one is nice to eat raw. It's kind of got a little bit of a tang to it. This is good to eat raw as well. It's also one that you can add right at the last minute if you're putting in a stir fry or something. I blend it.
Would you say it is Brazilian spinach?
This one? Yep, this one's leafed ginseng. There's, you see, I just leave all the weeds and I chop and drop it into here as well.
If you're leaving them, they're not weeds.
Yeah, leaving all these herbs, nature's herbs to help it grow.
This is a perennial basil as well. This is the Greek basil. So it's really good edging as well, actually, this one. But yeah, it's always a nice tuft, and you just do the same thing with propagation, is to get a stem and put that into the ground and off for a go. Most times if it's nice and moist soil, this will just propagate from a cutting.
This mulch as well comes just from our bamboo patch over there, and we put this into the bottom of the chicken coop just there, and then I take it from the chicken coop and I put it here. So it's got a lot of silica in it, which is great for the chickens, and then it's got the chicken manure in it, but not too much that it's going to burn the plants, and I put it here. So there's a little bit of moving it around, but it's material that's on site, and and buckwheat. So this garden bed was just like doing nothing, and over winter we put out some buckwheat, and then man, I could just sit here and just sit with the bees. They just love this, so it's great for pollination. Same as the bees up in that macadamia, they went crazy. And then this seeds, and then we just sprinkle it around again. So this built a lot of organic matter. This soil was pretty sandy. It had a lot of palm trees in here. They got cut down, so the root system has been breaking down with the water over time. So I've kind of built the beds around it. But yeah, that buckwheat did amazing things, and then you can save the seed and you can sprout it. It's a good food as well.
It does have a beneficial fixation in the ground, like it does help fix nutrient.
It
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also has a rare vitamin called riboflavin, which you don't get in a lot of different foods. It's a superfood, really.
Yep.
Nice to know that it grows so well here.
Quite high in protein.
Well, it's an annual, a wet winter annual, but you know it's still going through spring now. Probably wet season would be too much for it.
Yeah, it's just that we import so much of it, and you know, if it grows so well, wonder why
And
it's
you
not
can
being
store
grown.
it over the wet
Processing it.
season.
Ibika. You can just take a section of the stem this long, strip all the leaves back, leave the little ones, and whack it into the ground. I usually put it in water, and I'll take lantana and crush it up because it's one of the highest of growth hormones. Put that in the water and it makes it strike really quickly. In a couple of days I can just whack that in the edge of my garden. It's an edge plant. Put it on the south side of your garden to block the wind from blowing your grass seeds and stuff back into your garden. So you plant all these kind of things on the edge to block the sun. It's super high in silica. It's one of the highest plants of silica of any plant on earth. It's in the hibiscus family. You can eat the flower, you can eat the young leaves, you can steam these, but man, I don't know if somebody can tell us about that because I haven't had a lot of luck with it.
Yeah, they
They're
go
very-
slimy, eh?
Yeah, does that move
They're very
hallucinogenic?
tough.
Well, I think you're using the wrong variety. If you use the one that looks like a marijuana leaf, it's a lot better as far as using it like...
Palmate can.
Yeah.
But that one, I just wrap our food. We use them with giving wraps.
Okay.
But the mucilage, like a lot of the tropical foods has the mucilage,
Which is silica.
and it's good for your digestive system.
It is.
People need to get past the fact that it's not like spinach that you get from the shop.
And in New Guinea they actually use it as a makeup.
Like a binder,
Yeah, binder, you know, like,
thickener.
yeah, it thickens things up, makes a jelly-like thing, and they actually put it together and they make a dish in particular. It's like a jelly, yeah.
there's lots of different kinds of Ribeka, isn't there?
Yeah, lots of different
Really
leaf shapes.
awesome for spinach pies if you're into
Yes,
spinach
Manicapitas, they use it a lot for.
Got a huge one at home.
It's great for your manure tea, for the silica. And it's one of our VIP plants in your perennials. Now your neighbor moves in, wants to put a garden in, bust a couple of these off, they've got Hibika. Any questions about the Hibika?
Should we take some cuttings? So this is how you propagate it.
Does anyone have the actually take cuttings and re-establish it? You actually relying on it to keep going. Sometimes it doesn't keep going. It actually dies back and it only seems to take it off from fresh cuttings again. Or you haven't had that?
Yeah, it does thin out and get a bit scratchy. Yeah,
It's funny how.
dormant.
That's what I
Yeah,
found about these things too. If you keep taking cuttings, they'll keep putting out those new tips.
Yeah.
where, you know, big leaves are. Otherwise, it'll just get weak. Well, maybe it's
Yeah,
some spinach or.
I found that that Brazilian spinach does get woody if it's in the sun.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
it's in part shade and
That's right.
lots of water, it's nice and supple and very easy to eat.
Well, there's two varieties. The other one's got a rounder curly.
Yeah, right.
I find the same with the curly one too.
This one's much tenderer.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's right.
You don't want to talk about food potatoes?
Yes, I do. Sweet potato is another one of our perennials that we like to plant into your fruit trees. I've seen whole orchards, mature orchards, just ground cover of all different kinds of sweet potato. They don't have to mow, and every time they want to go eat some sweet potato, they just pull it out and get the tubers. You can eat the leaf as it's growing, so that's really, really important because as soon as you put it in, and within a week or two, you're already eating leaves. The way I do it, and I've learned that from the Polynesian people because it was a main staple in their diet. In Hawaii, they had the purple inside, white on the inside. And that was one of the 20 plants they brought from Micronesia to Hawaii. And they plant it they make a wattle fence, so a woven fence. And then over the year they put all their rubbish in there. And then when it fills up, they put a layer of dirt over it like this. And then you take 4 cuttings, strip all the leaves back, leave the little ones, and plat them together. Now put those in underneath that soil. And when you go to harvest, it's really easy to harvest them, and they get really big. In Hawaii, we get them this big, this long, one potato, and they're sweet as. They mostly fermented it. They would cook it and then ferment it in a trough in water, and they ate a lot of foods like that. Taro and those kind of things were all fermented. It's really, from my perspective, it's important to have fermentation foods in your diet on a regular basis because it keeps your stomach and everything in tone. I'm sure Wayne can add something to that.
I can add something about sweet potato. I actually heard that was the oldest cultivated plant on earth in Papua New Guinea highlands,
Okay.
predating banana. And the other thing is, if you have nitrogen-rich soil, you'll have more vegetative growth and you'll have more leaves. And if you have a carbon-rich soil, you'll get more tubers. And I've heard that if you want to grow big tubers, you actually just plant them in sawdust. Or something, that's almost 100% carbon, and you won't get too much of a leaf coverage, but you will get big tubers.
Yeah, so you can use it for both purposes.
Yeah.
In that Seed Savings movie film, Seeds Belong Yumi, they've got footage of the islander people running up. It's like, they're having a nice little festival there and they've made the mounds and they run up with the platted, and they run up and they throw it in. It's
into that soft soil.
Yeah.
And
they do it as
it's
a
beautiful.
community
Yeah.
event to plant it all out.
This story is about seeds, the seeds that grow our food. This is a big story, and it's our story. For a very long time, our people have been growing and eating our own food, keeping the seeds and replanting those seeds to grow more.
That one, I believe, is the purple sweet potato. And again, like this bed over here, which we turned in sort of our mixed annual perennials, that had sweet potatoes in it, and we harvested them. Bits of it still come up, so I'm like, thank you. I'll take them out, and I put them. I'm spreading them from our zone 1 further out, so ideally that orchard again will be covered in sweet potato. Yep, we're just working this area at the moment.
And you can weave basket from the stem.
Yeah.
Multiple uses.
There's the stacking. We've got sweet potato at the bottom and the Brazilian spinach, plantain as ground covers. Then we've got the avocados, and you can see that there's passion fruit growing up over there as well.
And a native bird nest fern.
I have a question.
They're in that bank. Passion fruit is one of the first things I plant when I get somewhere, and even through the bush. Don't tell anybody. I think I already told you this, but when I walk through the bush, I've been exploring that bush west of up here over the Barron River, out towards Flaggy Creek, and all the way out to the Mitchell Lake. Anyway, I plant passion fruit on the way. You can get it to fruit in 1 year, but the mistake I see a lot of people making is they plant it and then they just let it go and go and go, and less and less fruit every time it goes to flower. The passion fruit, if you really want to get it to fruit and have lots of fruit, as after it's flowered and done its fruiting, then you cut it right back, feed it up, and it'll go again. And that's how you kind of control it so it's not all over the place and you can't harvest the fruit. You keep it squat. There's many, many different species. The purple one seems to go wild really quickly, and it's very sweet. A lot of people think that you got to eat it when it's still firm, but if you let it go all the way crinkly and stuff, it actually gets sweeter. It doesn't go rotten for a long time. You can eat the flower.
You can smoke the flower.
Yeah.
Yep.
The bees love the flowers. And the birds as well, little
It's an
birds.
aphrodisiac, and we eat a lot of it. That's why it's so passionate flower.
It's also a monoamine oxide inhibitor of the flower, cassia flower, which is
Okay.
something
Really?
Yeah.
active.
Helps people who have migraines.
Smells
People I know have
amazing.
had migraines.
Yeah. The passion flower, yeah.
So a lot of uses for the passion fruit. So get them going.
And you
So-
can weave with it.
You can weave basket, yeah.
When you plant the seeds, does it matter if it's ripe or not? Like, can you kind of...
Yes,
Yeah,
that's pretty much true with all seeds.
it matters if it's ripe.
Yeah.
So only when it's like at the stage that you'd eat it would you also scatter the seeds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let it go crinkly. And it's also passion fruit before I go.
That's the one.
All through the gully at my place, there's wild passion fruit and the birds, because they
Let's go to Arrowroot.